Let's get straight into it. This is the shop view that you'll see when you jump into the Crew Motorfest, and this is where you begin to purchase vehicles and go into exactly the vehicle catalog. Now I'm going to show you all the cars so far in the Crew Motorfest. That's very important to say, is so far. This is not the final car list. Right now there are 567 cars, but they said they're not going to show all of them because they want to keep things a secret. Also worth noting that they have also confirmed there's going to be a car pass. If you get the gold edition, you get that included with the game, which means we're going to see more cars added to the game over time. And knowing the Crew, like other games have followed suit, they are also going to add cars for free, usually is what they do, whether those be just kind of the reskinned models with special versions, or whether they be fully new cars. It's usually a mixture of the two. They get added to the shop, you buy them with in-game money or the Crew credit system. So with that thing out the way, those things out of the way, most of these cars you will already have seen in the Crew 2. And it's actually even worth noticing, if you go through the Audis again, the RS3 and 7, which are the most new versions that are missing from this car list. So not even the newest Crew 2 cars are in this, which is a really interesting thing to think about, because obviously this game is probably built upon the Crew 2, but every time they add a car to the Crew 2, they're also going to have to add it to the Crew Motorfest. So even if you can only unlock that car via the Crew 2, you gotta they gotta bring it across. It's gonna have to update both games at the same time. So that's probably, I'd say probably why the Crew 2 is gonna keep it in updates, but that wouldn't make sense because it's not backwards. Anyway, so this game now has 16 Bugattis, is something I wanted to mention. The Cadillacs, I feel like they need a little bit of love. Okay, I want to see some more there. There are 46 Chevrolet cars. I just think it's wild that we are just shy, probably, when the actual finalized list is here. It's like 600 cars, probably, right? Granted, most of them are from the Crew 2, but that's how Forza works. The Forza car models have been reused from Forza Motorsport 2 onwards. And so the new cars are new additions, but a lot of the returning models or old models have been there since that game. So that's a long time. If you think back, that is what? The Xbox era of games. Whereas if you compare to the Crew, this is their third game, and they are close to kind of level with that, which is pretty wild. I was super happy to see the monster trucks still here, still looking beautiful. The Rally Raid, the racing category. So one thing you'll notice is the tiers are a little bit different. So the hypercar tier is still there. You've got the Alpha GP, you've got the drift tier, but you also have a new kind of segregated normal race class. So if you'll notice it's a street tier 1 on this, for example, and I've seen obviously then the street tier 2, so they get kind of sectioned into multiple categories based on what their performance are. That's new. That wasn't the case previously. I'm happy to see this, but at the same time I think there's going to be people a little bit upset by the fact that you can't use your favorite car all the way through now. It's going to be limited. Street tier 1 goes to about 600, and street tier 2 goes to what is like 700, I think I saw. Nonetheless, that does give you reason to have like the normal version and the Hellcat version. For example, we're on Dodge. That makes the most sense to describe. We've got the Huracan and the Huracan Performante, which is one of my absolute favorite cars that's obviously returning from the Crew 2. I love to see it. It's a car that I use all the time. You might have noticed. So the bikes again also split into those same street tier systems. Be curious to know, hyper bikes? Yeah, that would be nice. The demolition class is also here, which there's a special mode for that, for those vehicles, which I'm really glad about. It's the demolition royale, which I have yet to try and be able to show you. We've obviously got to wait, hopefully in the beta when everyone's playing, which you should sign up for, we will see more people actually in the game that we can actually, you know, smash each other up and have a little bit of a fight. The Crown Vic police car, super cool to see. I'm gonna make use of it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna phase out, and if I have anything to say, I'll phase back in again. Isn't that a good idea? I think that's a great idea. So you'll notice on the bottom left corner of some of these vehicles, it states that you need to play the Crew 2. That was the whole point of my video the other day, mentioning that you should do this before the Crew Motorfest. There will still be some cars that will be inaccessible, at least for a while, in this game that require you to, yeah, play the Crew 2. Some of them require you to do main stage, some of them require you to do certain playlists. That's how the Crew kind of works. It's like a car PG. That element is still there from the Crew 1, which is absolutely one of my favorite elements of the game. But yeah, there's still a point to getting the Crew 2 before Motorfest comes out, and that's unlocking as many of these special cars as you can. And right now in the summit, there's only probably a day or so left by the time this comes out, there's one way you just participate to unlock. So I would highly recommend to bolster up your car list, especially when I think the gold edition of the Crew 2 right now, it's like what, £7 is like $10. Highly recommend, actually. This is where we get a little bit more exciting. So I'm so happy that the Murcielagos are in here still. Stunning cars, beautiful, love them. But of course, the new one. It's beautiful, it's stunning. I saw it at Goodwood. I felt like I was in the Motorfest. We've got some incredible Lamborghinis on display in the Crew. 20 of them, which is so awesome. We've got Land Rovers, which I almost skipped past because I was like, that's Land Rover. It would be pretty cool to see the new one carrying through. We've got Lotuses, and they've actually got a good selection of Lotuses. I'd like to see a few more. That would be nice. We've got Maserati, which we actually do have some really cool cars. Again, people that have slept on the Crew 2 for so long finally get like this experience that we've had, that we all kind of knew about, that's now bubbling into something so much more extreme with the better handling model, which I did speak about on my Toyota A90 video. You should definitely watch that if you want more details on how the cars kind of handle. I actually said I didn't see drift spec stuff, and I was pretty sure it was going to be there. But you can drift normal cars now, slide them around at the very least, which is awesome, because that was something we wanted to do. You could do it before in the Crew 2, but it's now kind of to another level. You can drift essentially anything you find, but if you want to participate in drift events, that's when you've got to, say drift events, the ones in the events, like proper. You get the idea. Also, JCW Mini when, please? Who's going to do that? Forza did it first, but who's going to do it next? Is the question. See, I don't know if I got that McLaren, and I need to go back and check because I really regret it if I didn't, because that is stunning. Wide boy McLaren P1. I might have to just span out streams grinding all the cars that I missed, because I got to check them out early on PC. I don't primarily play PC, which means I lose the progress when I then go to console, and I've missed out on a lot of cars, and I really regret that. So don't disappoint. I'm gonna make sure I don't do that again. This, I can say, is the best selection of Porsches in a video game ever, right? Even better than Need for Speed Porsche. They even have the Panamera, for crying out loud. What game has the Panamera? It's like they saw that I was gonna get one before I got one. Okay, I mean, it takes games months to build cars, and I spent almost a year to reveal mine, so they had no idea. But they did it. And so I was so happy to see it. Dodge Rams, I feel like we need more. I feel like we need more of those. The fact that Red Bull cars are in here, I still cannot believe that. Like, that's so sick. I'm expecting F1 YouTubers to use that. We've now got pits. You can now pit. I'm expecting Arav and Ben to jump on that. Maybe we can make it with them. Hey, that would be pretty fun, actually. That would be sick! Of course, Toyota is a new entry, and they've done it really well. Both Supras, a special version, and the Tacoma. That's probably not all of them. We haven't seen all that they have to offer for all the cars, as I keep saying. 11 Volkswagens. I definitely feel like they need to update this list a little bit. The Volkswagens one is slacking in terms of modern cars. There's, quite frankly, nothing in terms of modern cars. But clearly they do very good with their licenses, because, as I say, when I am importing my cars on the Crew 2, it has the option to basically import most of my cars, which is really, really awesome. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully this was helpful. Of course, as I mentioned, this is the beta version. This is not the final one, so we'll see more cars added to the game. Check out this video if you're into the Crew Motorfest, and let me know, of the list, which is your favorite.